In this episode, I want to talk about the administrative side to living abroad or being location independent, deciding to live outside of your country, because this is kind of the unspoken world. And I have lived in 4 countries, dealt with 4 governments, the United States, England, Germany, and Curacao. And I have learned a thing or two about how to get those visas, get all the documents that you need, and be able to be happy and reap the rewards on the other side. All right, so I'm a master at dealing with foreign governments at this point. I have done so much with the United States, England, Germany, and Curacao. So we've got North America, the Caribbean, and Europe covered, okay? And I will just say, first of all, government entities make it hard as fuck to be married to a foreign spouse. So I'm American and my husband's German. We've had our kids abroad. So my son Liam was born in England, in London, and my other son Henry was born in Germany. So I had births abroad, dealing with taxes abroad, getting kids passports, social security numbers, permanent residence cards, healthcare cards, driver's licenses. I can drive in the United Kingdom. I got my UK driver's license. I can drive on the left side of the road. That was crazy that I had to do that. I mean, we've got so many passports between our family. Yes, this is all of them. I got here to show you. Report of births abroad. I have got visa immigration applications for every single individual person. We have got certified copies of birth certificates. There's just receipts like falling out of my hands. Certified copies at notary offices. This is probably only like a year's worth of stuff. And I want to say, I'm going to preface this video with, it's all relative if this is going to be worth it for you. Your why has to be really strong. Why you want to live abroad, why you want to maybe change where you're living, be location independent, apply for a visa, live on a Caribbean island like my husband and I did. Like, our why has driven us to deal with the administrative side of running our life in order to reap those big rewards and benefits. I'll talk a bit about the benefits and the rewards towards the end. But I would just want to say that, but also some of the administrative stuff that Chris and I, my husband and I, had to do was just necessity. It was because we were marrying as 2 foreign people. So I'm American and he's German. We got married in the United States, and then I moved to London. So I had, out of necessity, to apply for my permanent residence visa for the United Kingdom. Out of necessity, maybe not necessarily, but to get my driver's license. Our son was born in London. So out of necessity, we had to not only get a German passport in Germany virtually, we also had to go to the US consulate and embassy to get his American passport and report his birth abroad. Like, my first bit of advice, especially for people who are in this situation, is just do one administrative task at a time. Because if you actually listen to this video and you think about it, your back is going to start to hurt and you're going to get anxiety and you're going to say, what the F am I doing? This is so hard. It's hard, but there are so many rewards and benefits, which we're going to talk about in a minute. It's just get the next thing. So when Liam was born, we actually were going to the United States in 2 weeks. After he was born, I had 2 weeks, then we got him on a plane. So I had to get his baby passport. So that was the most important thing that we did. We reported his birth abroad, we got his baby passport. And then we filed for his social security number, and then we got him a German passport. So we were able to kind of prioritize what we needed to do. But honestly, best advice is don't put off getting the rest of the things that you need. So don't say, oh, I just got the couple things I need now. Oh, I'll deal with all that much later. I don't recommend it. I recommend get everything done. Keep it moving, because you will not survive abroad if you just put things off until you need it, because governments do not work quickly. governments, like I can't even tell you, like citizen services abroad. It's just a hot mess. It's like, what am I paying taxes for? You know, my husband actually last night, okay, this September 12th, 2023, last night, Chris went to go pay for our $5,000 fee for his green card his phase 2 to get his green card for the United States. And the website just kept failing. It kept giving an error. And he's putting in our credit card number for $5,000 fucking dollars. And just like the website doesn't work, you know? So we had to send an email and be like, hi. So yeah, government, US, we're trying to give you money. So that's one thing, don't delay. The other thing, which you could probably tell about me, is these things are so frustrating. They're so high stakes. They're actually so important because you don't want the government to come after you. You want to be good on your visa. You want everything set up. You want to get all your stuff together. Like, I know people who are doing this that genuinely want that, but there are so many barriers that happen. Chris and I had just learned, okay, just do the next thing. The next thing is email the government, like the US government. You know, the next thing is, and then follow up, like constant follow up. Like he's going to email them in 3 days, we'll email again. I will phone the US consulate in Curacao. Like you have to stay on top of everything. This is not for the faint of heart of anyone who procrastinates, who is lazy, who's a victim, who makes excuses. You've got to both, like I'm doing it with my partner. You might do it alone. You might be like ready to go and do your own thing, and that's awesome. But this is for people who have a lot of conscientiousness within themselves. I also recommend, if you're doing it with a partner, that you share the workload proportionately. So my husband Chris moves everything forward, like strategy wise. He researches and figures everything out. He even moves a lot of things forward. But I'm like right there to back up. I will go to the notary office. I'll go to the US consulate. I'll make the phone calls. I'll file paperwork. You know, we just work as a team, because it's just a lot. So, I think it's like how bad you want it. So some people see my life on the exterior of like on the beach and on the yacht and in the Caribbean and being like, yeah, I'm doing it, which is all true. Like actually all this stuff is true and this is true. But big dreams, honestly, like I really think is that if you have a big dream, it's going to require big effort, and small dreams require small effort. So if your big dream is to live in a certain place and have your tax structure a certain way, so maybe you save a lot of money related to the taxes and finances for your business. Maybe you can have a huge house for the same price as you would in central London. You got a big house on the ocean, like quality of life goes up. You might have a real big incentive to have life school for your kids. Like for me, I want my kids to have life school. I want them to have a multicultural, international experience in their life. Like I just want them to be in the whole wide world. And so I obviously am really picky about where I'm going to live so that's just happening naturally. Like they're not just reading it in a book. I want them to be living it. So I know that the big effort to go into all of the documents, all the passports, it's because Chris and I have this big dream. And I will tell you, let me say some of the things that are rewards. Okay. What's a big reward about leaving Europe and coming to the Caribbean is that we're on a digital nomad remote worker visa and we don't pay taxes. So for 2.5 years, legally, completely legally, we're not paying any taxes. We're saving every single dollar. So we got a lot of options. What we're going to do with that money afterwards. The next place we're going to probably live is Puerto Rico. And we'll do that because of the like for 3 reasons, but one of them is the tax structure. So financially, there's like 10% taxes on business. There's no capital gains taxes for Chris's day trading. And we're like, well, duh. Yeah, we're going there. Like if we could live anywhere in the world, we want to capture as much of our money as we can so that we can do good things with it. We love the island lifestyle. It's like Caribbean's been one of the best places I've ever lived. Like on all areas of my quality of life, a big house, my happiness, the people I'm around, my kids, like everything. It's so amazing. And I wouldn't want to feel trapped, like living in a town that I didn't like, or the vibe's not right, or the weather's not good, or the taxes aren't great. It's like, if I get to choose, if I really can choose and take responsibility for my life, making life on my terms, yeah, then my big dream is going to require like a lot of admin work. Like it's just, there's nothing around it. So it's totally worth it. Also just taxes like crazy. And I feel really free. So I feel like with all of the work that we've done, I actually have absolute freedom, time freedom, financial freedom, freedom, like peace of mind. And it's just given me a total different perspective on like what's possible for me, like what is really available for me, and why most people probably don't do this. It could be what I've shared. It's like the admin nightmares, like it is a lot of work and it takes stamina. But also potentially they don't believe that it's possible for them. And I will tell you then, if this is something you're thinking about moving abroad or changing your location or all of that, like just take the next right step. You know, look to see what places you might want to live, like what kind of visas are available, what does immigration look like, find people that are doing it like me or other people, and go and take the next step. And if you can't do it with your partner, you know, figure out how you can have that joint dream to like live and work from anywhere, do what's right for your financial situation, for your kids, for your quality of life. You know, I'm really trying to live life on my terms and do it very cautiously. But I want to be honest that governments and administrative stuff is like my nightmare. Also, before I go, let me leave you with a few problems that we experienced, just like give you a taste. Yeah, so I talked about Chris trying to pay for his green card and like just an error message, like that's gonna happen. In the Dominican Republic right now, my son Henry's Social Security number application is just sitting in some office warehouse. I've called the Dominican, they said Espanol only. They won't talk to me on the phone because I don't speak Spanish. I have sent them WhatsApp messages in Spanish. Thank you, Google Translate. They've responded and they said, yeah, it's just sitting in a post office. And I'm like, well, what do I do? And like, not radio silence. I have no idea what we're going to do about his Social Security number. Moving out of Germany, we discovered an exit tax. If we stayed in Germany, they would tax us like stupid money. And when we found out that law, when we were living in Germany, we said we have to leave. So it's like we weren't going to deal with that nightmare of an exit tax. So our alternative was to get the F out of there and move somewhere else, which is why we moved to Curacao. And so many things, so many challenges. And I think that positive mindset is important. Keep things moving and you can have the life that you want. Do the work, do the next right step. And I had something really positive to say at the end. Also know that it's never done. Like when you're abroad, like it's not like you finish and it's over. There's always going to be the next thing. So this is going to just be part of your life. This is just what you do. You've got this admin work. It's always going to happen. You're always going to have that next visa to apply for, that next document to do, or that next tax to do. So just get out of resistance, out of that like frustration, resistance, tension, energy, and just accept it. Accept the next thing's going to come up, that you're going to have to get to that notary office again, like make friends with the notary and immigration people, and then just step into ease and flow. And you know what? Also for me, what helps is just a bottle of wine. Just at the end of it all, have a bottle of wine. Do it again the next day and you'll figure it out. I hope this is helpful. Drop me your comments. Drop me your thoughts on this. Drop me a message if you're thinking of doing the same thing. I'd love to just share more and help you get there.